What's up, everybody? We're trying something new and we're going to be coming at you with some long-form content. So, if you like it, make sure to like the video so I know to keep them coming. But we're making the push to 10 subscribers, so please like and subscribe now so you don't miss any action. Alright, let's dive back into some average viewership rankings for the league. Well, continuing our dive into some data on the league, we'll be diving into average viewership this season. This is a list of 15, so we're going to be breaking it up into 3 videos. I'd subscribe so you don't miss any. Before we get into it, let's talk about the data. It's based on DMAs, or digital market areas, which are essentially geographic blocks where advertisement is divided. So, in one of these areas, you'd see the same commercials regardless of what city you're in. But the viewership for the season was actually higher than the spring leagues last year, ranking about 30% higher viewership in season and about 50% higher viewership for the playoffs. So there is definitely an increasing fan base for the league. Alright, I just wanted to add a few notes that I couldn't get into the short. So, the importance of TV viewership really cannot be understated, as that ad revenue is paying everyone's salary in the league. And to be honest, I wonder whether the UFL makes more money from TV screens or from butts and seats. And I'd really like to know how much viewership is going to grow next season, because the UFL's greatest obstacle has been inconsistent scheduling, and that problem is not going away. But you can tell me your thoughts in the comments. Let's dive back in. Well, continuing our dive into some data on the league, we'll be looking at average viewership rankings. Starting off strong, the number one area for viewership is, of course, the Birmingham area. How are you not tuning in if your team's number one in the league? Coming in second, we have the Saginaw-Flint area, with about 1.63 screens per household. This is pretty much mid-Michigan, so pretty strong Panthers country. And also cold weather, so there's really not much going on early season. The third-ranked viewership area is St. Louis, with just under 1.5 screens per household. They're a unique market, with high attendance and high viewership. It seems everybody's a fan in St. Louis. So far, it seems it's generally home team areas, and that trend will continue. Awesome. Let me just say one more thing about St. Louis. Their attendance really set the standard across the league, and I think that attendance encouraged high viewership in their area. Because if nothing else, those at home could just throw it on for a few minutes and watch the game at home. I think we'll start to see that treatment much more common across the league next season. But you tell me in the comments. Let's dive back into the list for pick number 4. Starting off with the 4th ranked area, we have the Mobile-Pensacola area with 1.3 screens per household. Interestingly, this is a multi-state DMA and is generally the Floribama Shore area. Coming in 5th, we have the New Orleans area with 1 screen per household. This one is interesting because they used to have a spring football team, but it was lost in the merger, and I'd say it's very likely to see an expansion back to Louisiana. Our 6th ranked area is Madison, Wisconsin, with 0.94 screens per household. Strong viewership is present, and it's a football-hungry market, so I'd look here for an expansion. Our 7th ranked area is Memphis, with 0.93 screens per household. This one's a little disappointing, but they are pretty terrible. I'm just going to butt in and talk a little more about the New Orleans area. Their USFL team was the New Orleans Breakers, which I personally think needs a little bit of a rebrand, but if you could bring them back, they would do well. Louisiana is a football-starved market, especially with how the Saints have been doing. But the Breakers do have a long history, going back around 40 years, so I'd love to see them back. One other note from that bunch is how Memphis is still getting views, even though they are so bad. But let me know what you think in the comments. Let's dive back in for the 8th ranked area. Starting off with our 8th ranked area, we have the Paducah-Harrisburg area with 0.91 screens per household, which is a tri-state suburb of St. Louis, so Battlehawks fans. Coming in 9th, we have the Grand Rapids-Kalamazoo area with a 0.9 screens per household rating. This is generally West Michigan, so it will be strong Panthers country. Our 10th area is Tulsa, Oklahoma, with 0.89 screens per household. This area is football starved, so I would say this is a good market to expand into, because they're clearly hungry. Expanding into Tulsa would be a great move, because we could possibly get another St. Louis-esque team. I'll stick my head in again, and add a little bit more I had to trim off. Well, first I just wanted to point out the Battlehawks fans crossing borders, as that area is really underrepresented in professional sports, so they're hungry for a team they can take pride in. Additionally, I want to talk a little bit more about Tulsa. That place is football starved, and they even have a minor league football team that could be purchased. because let's just say the Oklahoma Thunder ain't getting much attention. I'd love to see the Tulsa T-Birds personally. In the future, let's hope that happens. But tell me what you think in the comments. Let's dive back in for our 11th ranked area. Well, let's dive back into our average viewership rankings for the bottom 5. Our 11th and most disappointing ranking is the San Antonio area, with a 0.82 screens per household ranking. Relatively disappointing considering they made the championship, so hopefully next season that will change and we'll see a full stadium. Coming in 12th, we have Detroit, Michigan with 0.81 screens per household. This is a little disappointing, but Detroit is all in on the Lions train this year, so it is understandable. In 13th place, we have the Fresno area with a 0.79 screens per household ranking. This could be an area to expand into, but I'd say it's time California enters the fray. And let's say they do get a team, I'd love to see the Fresno Phantoms. I'll be brief with this interjection, but just another note about Fresno. They are hungry for a spring football team. There was even a fan-led initiative to bring an XFL team there in 2020. Given that, the Fresno Phantoms would be an awesome team to get to experience. Also, California is full of money, so the ads are pricey and the revenue from their games would be amazing for the league. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let's dive back in for the final 2 rankings. Coming in 14th place, we have Louisville, Kentucky with 0.77 screens per household. I love to see this, and I think a team in Louisville would do very well. It's a large metro area with no team of their own. Our 15th ranked and final area is Columbus, Ohio, with 0.75 screens per household. This is a nice rank for a state without a team in the UFL. Given that, expansion would likely do very well, so if Louisville doesn't get one, I'd love to see the Columbus Crusaders join the league. This viewership data is important because it shows where the league is popular, and that helps fuel the league's expansion, which is good for the sport as a whole. A quick note about the final 2. The fact Louisville made the list is impressive. The closest teams to them would be Michigan or Memphis, so clearly they're hungry for spring football. They do have an indoor team, but the fans have been calling for an XFL expansion ever since 2020. But personally, I feel an expansion to Columbus would be even better, as they are really a big city, and their soccer team has been doing very successful, and I think a football team would be a massive success for them. But those of you that stuck with me, thank you. The future of the UFL is almost the most exciting part. We all seem to love football, so it's great to see the sport grow. And I personally love seeing the players get a shot at the league, because who doesn't want to see someone chase their bag? But let me know what you thought of the long form video. I'd be happy to make more, so please like and subscribe to help the channel grow. I'll really appreciate it.